Hi and Assalamualaikum to all my classmates and our lecturer Dr. Ashikin. Today, my friends and I would like to present about one of the data gathering technique called as interview. But before that, I would like to introduce my team members, Farah Nazura, Khalis Norain, Anis Anida, Hanisa, and me, Nor Shahira. So let's start. So, what is interview? I bet that all of us in this class have experienced this kind of the data gathering method or technique, and usually it's for the recruiting purposes. Interview are generally one-on-one meeting, and to relate with OD, interview process is likely the action where the OD practitioner speak directly to the individual organizational members. This is because the OD practitioner is interested with the perspective of the members in the organization that related to their history, experience, belief, and attitude in depth. All of the information gathered in the interview process can be used to help the OD practitioner in order to plan the intervention process in future. In my point of view, I think that this kind of method is time consuming as the OD practitioner and the organizational member have to meet up individually. But interview process also have a key benefit that the company can enjoy, and it will explain further by my team members.
Okay, next we will move to the advantages of using interview method for data gathering. First, the interviewer able to understand person's experience, and with that, the interviewer will gain the opportunity to follow up on areas of interest. For example, interviews can be the only choice in getting at specific issues, such as employee experiences with a manager of a small group or a conflict between two managers. And another example is the interviewer can get more accurate answers from the respondent regarding customer service of this one company. The next one is it will allow the practitioner to understand better on how organizational members interpret a situation, their beliefs or attitude. So, it can help them to identify the problems or to understand the complexity within the organization.
So I will proceed with the disadvantage and pitfall for interview data gathering. Firstly, data gathering through interview relies heavily on cooperation from organizational members who will only open up to discuss a serious issue if they trust the interviewer. In this situation, we can see that the respondent may hesitate to give a correct answer to the interviewer. Respondent may be reluctant to provide confidential information to the interviewer. Second is interview can be threatening as the organizational member may feel defensive if they are personally involved in the problem because they may afraid that it will badly affect his or her image. Maybe some of the information may be used against he or her. Following this, data recorded may be inaccurate and incomplete. Third is pitfall. Pitfall is a situation that involve may go wrong or may cause a problem during using this interview approach. That's why interviewing method require the greatest interpersonal skills of OD practitioner. Interviewer should be adept at placing people at ease in one-on-one situation. They must be excellent in listening and have a skill in conversation so it can lead to a successful data gathering.
Okay, for the next one, to work best in conducting data gathering using interviews method, an interviewer have to follow certain guidelines. So what are the guidelines? Firstly is to prepare an interview guide, which it can be formal and structured. It can also be semi-structured with an interview guide containing general list of open-ended question and closed-ended question. Secondly, the interviewer should select the participants. The selection process can be random, stratified, and snowball. It can also be intentionally based on the participants' knowledge and involvement in the topic being discussed. Thirdly, the interviewer should contact the participants and schedule the interview. When contacting each potential interviewee, the interviewer should explain the purpose of the interview and how long it is expected to take. Contact method for scheduling interview commonly includes telephone calls and emails. Also, you have to select the location that allows for the best interaction possible. The next one is to begin the interview and establish rapport. The interviewer should begin with the personal introduction, again explaining the purpose for both the engagement and the interview, including what topic will be discussed. Take the time to explain what he or she will do with the data from the interview and who will see it. The next one is conduct the interview by following the interview guide and straying from it when appropriate. Interviewers need to listen carefully to the current response, think about the any follow-up question, and remember the other area that are listed in the interview guide. And the last one is to close the interview. How to close? Close the interview by inviting the participant to pose any question that he or she may have. And also you have to thanking the interviewee, and also you may provide a business card or other contact information in case additional question arise from the interviewee and or interviewee have wishes to clarify something after the interview.
There are three suggested tips in order to have a successful interview. First, an interviewer should have a good listening skill. One, it is because to avoid interrupting an interviewee with another questions that are unrelated or most likely not in the same wavelength with the interviewee. Secondly, an interviewer should avoid comparison, either agreement or disagreement with another interviewee. It is best for an interviewer to emphasize interest in interviewee's experience and not in one particular answer. Last but not least, an interviewer should focus on what interviewee mentioned and take notes sparingly during the interview session. It is best if the interviewer could spend some time after interview session to add up more notes from the session. Otherwise, another consulting partner may join the session, but this may make some interviewees uncomfortable.